So hey everybody, Dr. Mike Dukes at MTFU Longevity. I'm here with my good friend Marc Plano, one of the best trainers around. He's been around for a long time, a guy I respect, a guy who knows his stuff, a guy who knows a lot of stuff that I don't know, which is why I'm here today. You've heard me lament and complain about this bum shoulder of mine. I'm going to show you 3 things that I'm having problems with right now. Okay, I'm going to show you what's going on. Guy over 50, shoulder problems plague so many of us. When I was in chiropractic practice, #1 problem I saw was low back, #2 shoulder, in the case of my practice in any event. So I'm going to show you, first of all, let's look at some curls. You may want to come closer with the camera. You can come right up close over here. So when you're curling, you bring it up and you're curling, and that's fine, but sometimes you want to externally rotate, just like so, okay? A healthy shoulder will let you do that, but look at this side. I can't do it on this side quite the way I'd like to. This side, perfect external rotation, but not right here. That's some shoulder insufficiency going on right there. If you look at lateral dumbbell raises, same thing. I'm just going to do them. Marc is going to explain afterward. Maybe you guys watching can see what's going on when you look from side to side. And you all know that I'm really good at making light weights look heavy. That's probably just because I'm weak. All right, so that's that. And we're going to come over here. You can just follow me with the camera. And I'll show you one other thing that's difficult because of my shoulder. This shoulder, which I do think I have a tear in the rotator cuff. All right, now just a simple dumbbell press. For me, it's not simple. In fact, it's really tough to get that dumbbell over the shoulder. Pressing is okay once I get it there, but there's a lot of pain. It feels like impingement, and there's a lot of weakness. And again, lack of symmetry, incongruity of form on each side. Marc, I need your help. What do I do?
Okay, so let's back up. So we can certainly see the places or the areas on his body that he compensates a little bit, or maybe he doesn't have the movement on his curls. He didn't have the ability to really fully supinate. The other question is he getting into positions that his body doesn't really like? Is he forcing or violating his system on any level where he's kind of forcing his body into these positions that his body just doesn't feel all that good? So in my estimation, you have to earn the right to get into those positions. And Mike, why don't we start here? Why don't we start right on your back? Let's just look at some of Mike's movement in general to even see if he can get into some of these positions and maybe kind of see where there might be some dysfunction or where he might be locked up a little bit. Once we could identify the areas that he's maybe a little bit restricted, we can probably tweak some of these exercises to make it more appropriate for his system.
That's what I need. That's what I need.
Exercise.
Not to interrupt.
Sure.
Tweaking the exercises, because trust me, guys, I'm not having any more surgery. I've already built enough surgeons' vacation homes with all the surgeries, so no more of that.
So let's just take a quick scan of Mike's body. Mike, can you just take off your shoes for me?
Oh, sure.
Kick them off.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to take a little bit of a global perspective at this point and kind of look at his system as a whole. So there's some obvious things going up in this quadrant of his body. And again, I just wanted to back up and just say that I don't treat pain. I don't have a license to treat pain. My background is in biomechanics and exercise science. So I don't necessarily care where he has pain. Pain is a whole other area that I'm not going to get into and I'm not qualified to deal with. But what we are going to do is just look at his system as a whole to see if there's any areas, and again, I haven't touched Mike at all. This is the first time that he's laid on my table before. But let's see if there's something maybe below the chain or below this area that he's feeling some discomfort. Let's take a look at some of the areas below to see if they may be affecting some of the things up top here. So if we look down here, all I'm going to do first is just kind of pick up Mike's leg here, and I just want to see the weight distribute. Just kind of see if one kind of feels heavier than another. Mike, can you just turn your hip in a little bit? Good. Keep your knee straight. Just gently turn in. Perfect. And just gently turn in here. So right off the bat, we know that Mike has a lot more rotation on his left side, and his right side is very limited as compared to his left side. So Mike, just turn this in a little bit. Good, so he's got to bend his knee to kind of get there. Here, this side spins nice and easy. And let's just take a quick peek here. So, Mike, is there anything in the low back that's going on, or hips
No.
at all?
No,
Okay.
not currently, no.
And just gently pull this hip apart a little bit. Good. And just bring this apart a little bit. Good. And one more here. Slowly come out. Those feel about even to you?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay. And let's just bring this leg up as high as we can. Let's actually keep the knee straight. And again, I'm just looking just for symmetry to see if there's any big red flags right off the bat that we might need to kind of zoom in on. But let's take this leg up. Let's just flex this hip, bring it all the way up. And those look about even to me. And let's externally rotate this hip a little bit. There we go. So a lot of people get caught up into, I have pain in a particular area, and they want to zoom right into that site, when a lot of times that could be a symptom of something going on somewhere else down the chain here. In tightness, a lot of times where people feel tight, the body's trying to tell you something. So if the body is tight, a lot of times you don't want to violate that body's protective mechanism and just start stretching or mashing the tissue. There's probably a reason for it. So that, the body maybe is unstable in that shoulder, and that's why he's locked down there. Instead of doing some aggressive stretching or some really hard soft tissue work, a lot of times we can just start with some very light activation exercises to kind of get that tissue to open up a little bit. Once his body senses some stability, his body will give him some range of motion. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So let's just turn this in a little bit. Turn this out. So right now, turn in. Good, and turn out. So he's able to externally rotate on this left side, but this side here is kind of gumped up. Not much going on there. And internally rotate one more time for me. Good. And now let's just bring this arm up. Bring it back. Any pain there?
No, actually at midpoint there was.
Okay. So if I was going to, qualify Mike to overhead press, I'm not so sure I'd give him the green light yet, because, he really can't get his arms back into an overhead position. There are some other problems that are associated with pressing, especially with compromised shoulders, that we can talk about a little bit later. But right now, I just want to see where he kind of feels a little bit gumped up. Let's bring this up. Let's externally rotate. Good. Let's turn in. This is popping up here.
Yeah.
Okay. So very limited there is external rotation. This side certainly much better. And let's take this shoulder, let's bring it right up to the ear. How does that feel?
Not bad.
Okay. And if we take this, so the shoulder has tons of freedom, has tons of range of motion. So it's the most mobile joint in the body, and because it's so mobile, it's very easily someone can get injured because it's so mobile, so it's important to have a lot of strength to back up all that mobility. Does that feel a little easier?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so if we look at so the shoulder could adduct, right? It could come across, it could abduct, it could internally rotate, it could externally rotate. So you got a lot of different things that it can do, and we want to make sure that the quality of this motion is paramount. So if he's kind of gunked up, all we're going to do is let's start with just a little isometric to see if we can get a little bit more range of motion and also prepare his body for exercise. Okay, so if we can just neurologically kind of wire up these muscles and get them firing and focus on the quality of his contraction, and we can do that by just starting. Let's turn this in, and Mike, what I want you to do is just hold there, and all I'm going to do is just tell him to hold and relax. So I'm trying to spin him out of that internal rotation, and again, just going to see if we can get any more motion.
Is that like a PNF?
A little bit different, a little bit different. So his problem was his external rotation here, externally, which is very, very limited here. So what I want you to do is just hold that position. And relax. Good. And let's turn out again. Just holding. And I'm just taking some of these positions and just trying to get these muscles to kind of fire up a little bit. Let's push back into my hand. Very gentle towards the street. Good. I'm pushing down the other way into my hand.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, there you go. And you could easily self-assess yourself at home so that if one area feels kind of gunked up, if you were to just take your shoulders and internally rotate, and you found that one spins nicely and one's kind of feels funky, you can just hold that position and then just spin back out and do some 3 to 6 sets of some internal rotations to kind of try to see it, get that joint to kind of open up a little bit. And then we're going to gently just push down into my hand. And breather. And just come back. And gently pushing down into my hand. And push that elbow down into my hand. That's it. And I'm just getting all these muscles kind of lit up a little bit.
And I'll tell you, I feel it specifically too.
And you're going to externally rotate again. Good. And gently pushing back to my hand. You should feel all the muscles in the back of your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And just relax a little bit. There you go. We're going to do that a couple more times. I'm going to just spin. And gently into my hand. And breather. Good. And turn this down. And push down into my hand. This way, across. So I feel a little bit looser.
It does.
So I was able to get, without stretching anything, he's able to get a little bit more adduction. Hold there. Let's try and straighten out the elbow. And just push in right into my hand. I want you to just focus on contracting the pecs a little bit. And a lot of times it's hard to connect and feel in these really short positions. The pec is very short here, and it's really a nice drill to get people to kind of wire up and feel specific things, because a lot of people, they don't know how to feel anymore. They kind of lose sensation. And the externally rotate again. Hold in, pushing down. Good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just turn here, just hold in there. Bring your hands open. Good. Just holding here. And just holding. I'm just holding, Mike. Just hold still. Good. I'm going to go the other way. Holding here. Just waking up these guys that pronate and supinate his lower arm. Good. One more time. Let's hold here. Turn again. Holding. And good. So let's take your arm. Let's bring this back.
Wow, that's a big difference.
A lot more range there. We
Wow.
didn't do anything.
That's amazing.
We didn't. So all we did was basically get these muscles that were maybe a little bit neurologically wired down.
I haven't had that in years.
Okay.
Just now.
And we just basically found the areas that he was a little bit tight and had him contract. It also is going to prepare him to exercise. But so, you know, what are the things, and let's just go on your stomach real quick also and look at some of the muscles that also on the posterior side of his body, see kind of what's going on there. So let's bring your arms down by your side here.
Like so? Or
Yeah, that's perfect. And let's go one arm at a time. So all I want you to do is think of bringing your tricep up towards the ceiling. Perfect. And right back down. And let's look at this side. Those feel
Oh,
the
yeah.
same?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Now, let's look at his retraction. So what I want you to do, Mike, is just take this shoulder blade, and I want you to just, actually keep the arm down. All I'm going to have you do is just retract. Yeah, that's it, right there, boom. And then right back here. And retract. And again, this could be a drill also to prepare Mike to exercise. A lot of times these muscles become dormant or inhibited from either, you know, too much stress on some level. And let's just look at this side. And Mike, you let me know if there's a difference in the quality of the motion at all. Those feel about even?
I'd say so.
Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do is bring them both together. You got it. Let's bring your arms up towards the ceiling. You got it. And we're going to come down and let them relax. Good. Let's come up again. And then squeeze. Think of really retracting. Good. And back down. That's it. Let's go about 2 more. Good. One more time. Last one. And breather. Okay, let's go on your back. And let's just look at that shoulder again and see if his external rotation opened up at all. Put this underneath your head for you. There you go. So here, just spin. That feels a little bit better.
Yes.
You don't have that rough end point. That's perfect. There you go. And go a couple more. He's actually opening up, and all we're doing is just moving him. We're not forcing anything. He's working with his own tissue. And hold there. I'm going to just give him a little challenge here. Just hold him. Now what we're going to do is just let me move you, but resist me just a little bit. So I'm going to just push you back and let me move you. Good. And back again. Sit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's had some surgeries. He probably has a lot of scar tissue in those areas. Again, there's a lot of different reasons why someone could be tight other than just, you know, muscles being neurologically inhibited. Obviously surgical repairs, calcification, adhesions. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Perfect. Now just hold that in range. Good. And relax. Okay, let's bring the shoulder back.
That's a big difference. Yeah, I don't feel that pain either. I had that midpoint pain.
Okay, and then let's just bring this across your body here. Does that feel a little freer?
It does.
Good. And I'm just going to make sure that he's stable in some of these ranges also. So just match my pressure here. Hold. Perfect. And you're going to hold here, push down on my hand. Perfect. And let's turn in and just come across. Just hold in here. Just hold in. Turn in, yep. Hold in here. Perfect. Hold down in this position. Good, turn in. Hold in here. Hold in again. There you go, relax. So those are just some neural warm-ups that you can do before exercise. And you can kind of do this over your whole body. You can start at the hips here and kind of work your way up the chain. Just kind of see where you're gunked up, and you're holding those positions for 3 to 5 seconds and repeating it for 3 to 5 sets. Come on up, Mike.
Oh, goodness. I feel like so now I could go 2 1/4 overhead.
Easily. Yeah. So some of the things that, so just out of curiosity.
You want to come over?
Yeah.
Grab those dumbbells again and just let me know if you're able to kind of supinate. So go into that position. Let me know if it's as bad.
No, it's easier.
Okay, a little bit easier, and that's only after 5 to 7 minutes or so. Still a little compensation on that side.
But not like it was.
Okay, and relax. So the other thing that we want to look at is what's the goal of this exercise that you're doing right there? What would be, so if you were to do that, what would be the major goal of the exercise?
Oh, developing width to the deltoids.
Okay, so side delt. So the question now becomes if I'm doing an exercise, I want to pick, if we're going to use our rating system, I want to do the best side delt exercise that I can. Do I think that that's a 5? I don't, only because we want to pick an exercise that matches, I want to pick a resistance profile that matches the strength curve of the muscle. And what I mean by that is that in general, as muscles shorten, okay, so as that side delt is shortening, that muscle is getting weaker. So here's what happens. Here, there's not much tension here, right? So as I get up, as this muscle gets biomechanically weaker, I'm loading it with more weight. Now, if I know someone who's got a shoulder issue to begin with, I think it becomes even more important for Mike, so for us to pick a different profile for someone like Mike, where we can get the maximum benefit of the exercise. So if we take a walk over here, and we want to train the side delt with a profile that's going to be the best profile for the side delt. So I want a resistance that loads me at the bottom. So I would need a line of resistance that's coming from this way, okay? Now I have some tension. So I have a line of resistance that's opposing that lever. So Mike, I'm going to have you come right in here. I'm going to really just put this on a super light weight here. And what I'm going to do is just think about abducting my arm. And now this weight, because of how the cable, because how I have the arm is set up, is heavy down